Hi, I'm Raven Moonstone with We the People News. I'm sitting here very humbled in the presence of Her Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, Commander-in-Chief and Head of Government of the Kingdom of Canada. We're here today to talk about her 54 written decrees, which are like executive orders for the Kingdom of Canada. So one of the very first royal decrees that was written was about the age of consent. Yes. And I know a lot of people had issue with that, so maybe we can clear that up.
Yes, of course. So the age of consent, which was at age set at 24, meant that, for example, if one in the relationship is under 24 and the other one, let's say for example, is 50 or 30, there's nothing wrong with it until such time the individual who is under 24 starts screaming rape. Okay? The idea of the age of consent being 24 is basically to remove as many pedophilias who have been grooming our children and youth. So that's why that's there. Second of all, couples who are under 23 or under 24, they can have sex. That's not an issue. It doesn't prevent people from having sex. It's just that if one starts complaining and they are under 24, that's when it becomes an issue. Yes? But the main idea is to remove pedophilia and to make sure that pedophiles are stopped at grooming our children and youth and become their sex slaves.
Yes.
So that's what that is.
Very grateful for that. Very grateful. Also, the age of consent for marriage is 24 now.
Yes.
And personally speaking, as someone who was married and divorced before 24, I can understand why that is also now. You've said let's take some education classes and marriage classes so we can make people happier and longer lasting families.
Yes, because at the end of the day, marriage is not, it's not a hot bowl of rice that when it's hot you can spit it out and you can, that's it. Well, if you are very young and you have children, it's not only you who suffers, but the children that suffers. And if you look around, we have so many young females and also males that are single fathers, single mothers, and they become a burden to the government itself. So that's what we're trying to prevent, or my government is trying to prevent, and to ensure that people who have children understood or have the understanding of the responsibility of being a parent. That it's not an instant gratification. There is a lifetime commitment to having children.
I love that, yeah. Very, very much, very much. One of the biggest royal decrees that you wrote that many people don't know about yet is no income tax.
Yes, absolutely.
That's my faves.
I believe we are the first country in North America, actually in Americas, and I believe in Europe and Asia. Actually, we have the United Arab Emirates has no income tax. So, but in Western countries, we are the first one to not have income tax. I believe that was the Simon Fraser University, or it might be another entity who did almost a pie graph explaining that at least 42 to 56% of Canadians' income are paid to taxes. So it's time that Canadians are able to keep their income 100%. And I would like, as I mentioned, I would like all Canadians to be absolutely filthy rich so that my government, the Kingdom of Canada's government, doesn't have to worry about our people not having enough food or shelter and everything else. So,
And those are a couple more royal decrees I'd like to talk about, that you made homelessness and poverty unlawful.
yes, absolutely. It is quite repugnant for a country like Canada that claims to be a G7 or G5 country that has homeless people, population in every corner of our streets, small towns, big cities, small cities. We have homeless. That's not acceptable, and that is a complete failure in the leadership of the previous governments, and it also goes with the fact that the previous corporation governments were laundering people's money. They were stealing the tax money of we the people of Canada and sending it overseas under the pretense of international aid, which really was simply money laundering, because their friends in other countries were the ones receiving them, and the people that they claimed to be providing aid to really never received a penny. So it was the politicians of Canada stealing all of that money and then sending it to their friends overseas in another country, and then it goes into their multiple trust companies and other foundations, and that's how they laundered Canadians' money.
And you've called for an audit of we the people's money
Yes.
through the royal decrees as well.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yes.
super exciting. I can't wait to see where all that money went.
I believe that is actually, this is the first time that the we the people's money is being audited, and the first time that we the people will find out how much wealth they have when the government is not stealing it and sending it to their friends abroad, and then laundering it through their foundations and trusts companies.
Yes. The other things, the one thing that was really, I've been, I guess, campaigning a large part of my life for is clean drinking water in Canada. I could never understand why we didn't have clean drinking water in a lot of our reservations and all of those things, but that is a royal decree now, even for the farmers to have free and unlimited irrigation drinking water, so we can grow better food.
Well, it's basic. The water sustains life, and it's not for the lack of money. Canada always had money, and it was the old corporation government that really didn't have the intention of providing clean drinking water, as well as some of the indigenous peoples who were put in charge or were in charge in their communities also were corrupt and stole all of that money that they received from the corporation governments that was meant for their people. I mean, all you have to do is look at some of the corrupt chiefs. Their homes, they're worth millions, and they are multimillionaires, whereas their members are starving and have dilapidated homes. So you can tell that corruption started from the very top all the way to the indigenous communities. No exception to whether they were indigenous or not, corruption existed.
Yeah.
So
everywhere. So thank you for stopping us from learning how to speak Chinese.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That is very excellent. I'm very happy about that. The other thing is free electricity.
Yes, we have always had the technology. It was suppressed by the old corporation government because they always saw the public as their slaves to create money for them. instead of them providing service to we the people. And that's what distinguishes a real benevolent queen to a corporation queen or an individual created by the bankers. The old queen's idea was to create as much revenue for their corporation, whereas my mission on this planet is to liberate the we the people and to ensure that peace and prosperity for humanity is what permeates around the world. We the people were not meant to suffer on planet Earth. Everything has been provided for by the Creator, and the old corporation governments have turned that into their revenue generating system rather than it being free given to we the people. For example, water. It comes out of the sand or out of the land, and yet we the people can't have access to it. You see, or they have to pay for it. All of that is free. And electricity, we have technologies. This one tiny technology like this can power an entire Canada.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm excited about seeing is all of the technology and freedom that's already here.
Yes.
Being recognized by the rest of we the people, because we are already free.
Yes.
And we're already in a peaceful timeline.
Yes.
You've already lifted the restrictions on February 3rd.
That's correct, yes.
And now, in addition to these royal decrees, many people will see that the life that we had under the old foreign corporation was so dismal and so unimaginable, but yet we all lived through it. And now freedom is here in the form of royal decrees, like even to the point where you wrote a royal decree about play areas for children.
Yes.
And gardens being planted.
Yes, children must be allowed to play in their neighborhoods, in their backyards. The highways, that's for the cars.
Yeah.
The backyards, that's for the children.
And it seems so simple in some of these royal decrees, and many people, as soon as you say there's debt forgiveness,
yes,
that was a written decree, their whole body shifts like they took a suitcase of financial troubles
yes.
off of themselves. So many people would ask, do we just stop paying our electricity bill? Do
Yes.
we just stop paying our income tax?
Yes. The CRA is no longer. The CRA used to be an agent for the old corporation. They no longer have the jurisdiction to be collecting money from we the people of the Kingdom of Canada. So anyone who tries to be collecting or tries to collect taxes should be arrested.
Yahoo. And you've also written a very important royal decree with the arrest warrant for 75 names and 10,000, I'm gonna mess up the number, 867 corporations.
Well, the 75 individuals there were actually originally in the international warrant of arrest issued by the International Common Law Court. Yes, and these are the individuals who have been accused of genocide and crimes against humanity. All of their assets, all of those 75 individuals are under international arrest warrant. All of their assets seized or are being seized, and so that's what it is. And I have, because they are in the Kingdom of Canada's jurisdiction, I have to recognize the international court's order, Commonwealth Court's order, and is allowing the international community to come into the Kingdom of Canada and execute the international arrest warrant.
That's music to my ears on so many levels. I'm like, yay! I'm just gonna say it for everyone, yay! I'm very excited. I have been researching the royal decrees and reading over them to have a really good understanding of the absolute freedom from oppression and tyranny that we have been under. And I really encourage everybody who's watching this video to please go on queenromanadidulo.com and read the royal decrees. They are being translated in several languages as we speak, very hardly by the translation team, who works very diligently to get all of the information exactly how it's spoken and written to be translated for all to have an understanding of where we are and the truth.
Yes, and sorry to interrupt. Also, I wanted to speak about the term queen.
Yes.
Many are triggered by the word queen because of first of all, the word queen in the ancient teachings has to do with the monarch, the queen or the king's responsibility to ensure that his or her people are taken care of. In the teachings, my teachings from my ancestors, my responsibility is to ensure that we the people, their well-being is taken care of, and that the wealth of the monarch is the well-being and wealth of her people. So I understand many people are triggered by the word queen from their experience with the previous corporation queen, who made sure that they were extracted money for everything that had anything to do with the service, whereas I'm reversing everything and removing all the shackles that the corporation queen has done and her people have done, and removing all of that tyranny, i.e. when I burnt the red and white flag, it symbolized the end of tyranny of the corporation. It was not meant to insult or degrade our people or our veterans. It was simply to symbolize the end of the tyranny of the previous queen, who was put there by the bankers. She was not a real queen. She was she had no royal bloodlines. She was a simple individual, German individual, and was put there by the bankers. And then from Germany they were removed, or they were moved to London. They changed their name to continue the charade of being the Queen of England when they were not. So this is what the people didn't have, this information didn't have before. Now you do. So
I'm very grateful that there is a queen to save us. I'm very, very grateful. Because I see the peace, I see the love, I feel it. When you walk down the street, you have every intention of just that unconditional love and healing. I can feel you truly want to start the healing process
Yes.
of each and every baby boy, every baby girl, every man, and every woman to be equal, love, peace, and just have abundance.
Yes.
Because again, it's less of a burden on the Kingdom of Canada.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it makes the most common sense.
Yes,
To me, it makes the most common sense. If we have all the money available to us, then we do need someone here to help guide us to through the devolution of that foreign corporation and into the Kingdom of Canada. And the triggers that people are going through are simply from the old programs that were put on us by that fake monarchy and the fake government. They never had we the people's intentions at heart. So through these 54 decrees, it's absolute law. They cannot be broken. There is no one who can say, no, that's not allowed. The written decrees have the Queen's ultimate authority and power for freedom. So that freedom is already here.
Yes, and I've already lifted all of the restrictions, COVID restrictions. So there's no reason for anyone to be in Ottawa. And I asked again that all the truckers go home and enforce that lifting of the restrictions in their provinces or cities. Honking here for 18 hours a day is useless. Because the parliament is empty. All they're seeing in the news, they're seeing on TV, those are CGI people. Haven't they noticed that the people that they're seeing on TV are so big? Those are CGI. The people that they think that are still in charge, they're gone. They've been sent to Gitmo.
So I can't wait till
they have no more power.
I can't wait till there's no more honking in Ottawa. I can't even imagine, like you had said, how would you like it if you'd sent trucks to every single city
and they start honking
and town
for
and just
18
lay
hours.
on the horn for 18 hours? Your minds would be rattled. Like, we're free, so what's the point of the continuing? This is 2 weeks later. So I'm very grateful for your time. I'm very honored to be here to share with we the people the truth, the peace, the abundance, and all of the written decrees that Her Majesty has signed and that nobody can break. And I can't wait to go and see all of the actions and report all of the actions. For example, a lot of people that are out there on the streets don't realize that there was 550 cease and desist groups created and grocery groups and through Queen Romana's page. So if there was hay farmers that needed hay, hundreds of thousands of dollars were raised very shortly on 2 separate occasions to provide hay to BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. There's many grocery groups that have supplied many we the people around the world, not just in Canada, from Good Samaritans helping people in need directly, one-on-one. So it's people helping people, and that's who we are as a nation. We are all people who love peace, we love our brothers and sisters, we love our elders, and we just want freedom, true freedom. So it is my honor to share these decrees, a little touch on these decrees with you. Please do your research and look at all of the royal decrees. I don't think you could come up with another one. That might be a challenge because I did say 55 the first time, but it's 54 and I'm like, I don't even know if there could be another one written.
There could be another one.
Just
actually.
maybe.
the digital currency.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency I will have to remove.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it because I know it means blessings and prosperity for all. And we are already united in peace and love. And you're just anchoring it in with all the royal decrees. So I am grateful for your time, Your Majesty.
Thank you for your time.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.